and operated by Communist Persuasion Limited, located in Stuart Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Blessings and light. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary. Your host and the community buzz on the Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. This and every Monday at 3 p.m. From the home to the community to the wider world. Let us be the change we want to see. Join me this and every Monday at 3 p.m. on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. Fit mind, fit body, fit community, fit world. This is Aymara, the musical revolutionary on the community buzz on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Struggle goes on. We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House. We build them factories. With blood, with sweat, with tears. With flesh, with bones. Them use build them deep. Now them want come con you and me. With them science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deadly. Them are blinded. We are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Now see, eyes focus on the screen of an iPhone, Galaxy, tablet, BlackBerry. Wake up, look. Uno no sister them are very weak. Ancestors crying out. Them out we heading back to slavery. Robotic, digital, technological slavery. The rich take them session, call it recession, left the world in depression. Legal and illegal drugs and alcohol on the rise, in dear interest. To our demise we patronize, now become marginalized, make fools seem wise, because we abide them lies and sell with lies. Yes. It's Community Buzz. Welcome to the listeners all across the world. Listeners here in Falmouth, the listeners in St. Anne's, the listeners in Hanover, in the United States of America, the listeners in Africa, the listeners in South America, the listeners in Europe, Russia, China. Yes, we are here on the Community Buzz, and we are buzzing on this Monday, the 17th of April, 2023. And we have a nice program lineup, you know. You hear the song there, the piece of poetry there, Tech Knowledge, is a piece of work by Aymara.
I did it a couple of years ago. And we are talking about robotic, digital, technological age, and see where some people get trapped into the digital technological slavery. Can it be a source of liberation, or can it be a source of enslavement? We're going to explore these things a little later, in the program, because we have two technologically savvy individual, Dr. Winard Ranellos, from the Alchemist Club, and my brother for a while, for years, from another mother, Mr. Roel Carneve, an engineer and a farmer by trade, and so many other things, family man, and doing great things and working to make this place called Jamaica a better place, and by extension, make the world be a better place, because that's the mission and the goal that we are on, and we are here on Fit FM. So I'm saying to the people, tune in, and you can call in, make your contribution. It's 876-478-9144. 876-513-6668. And I go again, 876-478-9144, 876-513-668. And we are online, 6668. Yeah, that is 36 and 8. Yes, and we are online, www.fitfmja.com. And we are also smallcasting and Primal Media. And that's the www.primal4k.com. And we are on the FM band, Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. So there's some nice little vibration. Some people might see it as something bad there, and I don't know what the pastor them do on Sunday. I know say that sermon they must give out a whole heap of warning that must repent and be baptized and find the Lord, because earthquake are in diverse places, and when you see these things, you know that the coming of the Lord is near. Well, we are here. We have experienced many earthquakes, and we're still here. The Lord not appear yet, according to what the people say, But we give thanks. We give thanks that we are still here on this little piece of rock called Jamaica, and we are trying our endeavor best, or we are doing our endeavor best to see what and how we can make it that we can live comfortable. And pick two fruit, and you can look some pepper, and you can juke one like a moringa tree, and you see it grow past your house, and you say, wait, so that's something that grows so fast, and then you see it put on bud, and then you see it put on pod. It's a blessed place. It's a blessed place. And you look around, you see fruit tree in your neighbor, but then you have everything. So them call you and tell you, say, come get two mango, yeah. Come get two apple, come get some neeseberry. But they may all turn climber up in the top of neeseberry tree, I pick neeseberry and I share up with the neighbor them. You see me I say, so that is the whole aspect of community, and this day, the 17th of April, we're going to talk technology and to see how technology is impacting our lives, how technology is, working for a greater kind of communication, how it can ease some of our burden. Some people say the artificial intelligence is where it is going to take us, that if you don't mind sharp, somehow we're going to be replaced by robots. You know what I mean? We see that going already where, well, it happened for a while now. You're going to places like Walmart and them places. You realize that they don't even need no cashier. So you better go in there and know how to operate them things there. You travel nowadays. You know what I mean? You better know how to deal with yourself and angle yourself at the airport, because nobody no did if to help you. Yeah, well, maybe they was out if you have face little difficulty, you know what I mean? Because them know say some people still not up there with the reading and the writing, so them still look out for them people. But this is where the world heading to, and this is where we are at in the world today. It's not like we are heading there. It is here with us. That's right, my brother.
That's right.
Yes. So before we go any further, let me just introduce my brother. How you doing, brother Royal Carney? Yeah, good?
Yes, most things well, brother Imara. Been a good day. Wake up in the morning and spend a little while on the farm and taking care of some things around the household, and traveling here, it was good and safe, So we give thanks. We give thanks every day for the moment, for the now, We just want to make the ones them know, say, everything is just now, is in the moment, And as long as you can have the thing going in your favor in the now, that's the way to go, That's the way to go. So, we're just here today, are going to allow Brother Imara to get the thing going. And let's have a good discussion for this full noon that we have here, and let's see where we go from here.
Yes. Yes, I want to big up some of the people online, Edgerton Mackenzie, enough respect. And I'm going to bring in my brethren, I call him a brother now, Dr. Winard Ranellos from the Alchemist Club. We hope him can hear it clearly, and
Yes,
we can.
I can hear you.
You are hearing me clearly because you are the man at the forefront of the technology now. So you better work some magic over there that it come through clear.
Jah guidance, Jah provide the way.
Hi, my brother. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm happy to be alive and see my brothers, And that's the joyfulest thing, when you look at your brother, you see yourself.
Great.
Very important,
Yes. We're not going to delay, we are going to go into this program because, as you say, who day at the time run off, right? So, I want you to introduce yourself,
Sure.
to the world, because we are going worldwide. We are www.fitfmja.com and we are on primal4k.com, right? So we are smallcasting on another station in the US. So we are worldwide. So I want you to
Excellent.
And make way going.
Excellent. Well, to the world, my name is Dr. Winard Ranellis. You guys could just call me Doc, keep it short. These titles, I guess you earn it, so you got to respect it, right? My background, brothers, sisters, all over the world, is in technology. I came to the United States at the age of 12 from Haiti. I land in New York, not even a word of English. And I had to quickly figure a way to survive here. In the process of all the pain and trial and tribulations, I always had a natural gift for science, I remember when I was in high school, I used to just be all over the place. And one teacher called me one day, this guy told me, I'll never forget his name. You never forget one teacher sometime. Dr. Kaufman. He said, son, let me have a talk with you. He said, you see this class? There are some people here, they're just not cut out for this stuff, man. You're natural. Don't waste your talent away. And I was just doing so horrible in bio, but I just picked up this stuff like this, So to make a long story short, man, I went through hell on earth, excuse my French here, in New York City Board of Education system. When I graduated, I barely graduated with a 68 average. No school would accept me. I end up at a community college called Bronx Community College, where I realized right away I need to make a change in my life. From there, I did a degree in horticulture, like my brother. We are agronomists by heart. Then I went pursue higher degrees all the way to the point where I get this PhD degree in computing and education. I've been teaching in the New York City Board of Education, the largest school system in the United States, for over 24 plus years. And to be honest with you all, what we're about to be hit with, I just want to get straight to some heavy stuff here. We're about to get hit with an avalanche. This technology, this AI, machine learning, deep learning, the world is about to change so fast. Before we breathe, people are going to have no idea what hit them. That's how fast it's going to happen. Like, for example, let me just give you an example. Right now, you walk in McDonald's. There's a time they have 5, 6 cashiers. You'd be lucky if you find one. These kids, they don't care for those things no more. They go straight to the machine. They order their stuff online. The train station, same thing. The people that work, they used to sell the MetroCard and the tokens, they have them working on the train station, doing all this stuff. At the supermarket, you can see the AI is already here. It's not that it's coming in some future. It's here. The question for us as a people, when this high-end tech come in, where will we find ourselves? And quite honestly, from what I'm looking at, as an expert in that field, there's no one to speak for us because our people are just sleeping at the switch. They have no idea what's going to happen. And this time, if we don't get on the bandwagon to understand where this world is going, the gap is going to be so wide. I honestly, I'm scared. There'll be no catching up. It's going to be a system where what I'm calling the cognitive elites. You have people who are going to be zillionaires. And then those who are way down there, there's no escape for them. Just like we saw in the Hunger Games. And this is the danger I see. And I want to articulate on this point with you brothers and sisters all over the world and share with you the work that I'm doing right here. I'm in the lab here in the Alchemist Club Studios. You can look around to see the work that we have here. And I built the lab in a way where I start very early, elementary school level learners, so that we can have a solid foundation for these kids to be ready for the new world that's coming. So let's get to it, man. Let's focus on heavy duty stuff here. I'm ready to go.
Yes. So you talk about I listened to you on a podcast with two sisters recently.
Yes.
And that term you used a while ago jumped out at me, cognitive elite.
That's right.
And I want you to break down that people can understand, because one of the things that we are looking, every time you look at the word elite, you understand what that really means. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we see where we are in the world at this point. Who really run the world? There's really the elites of the world, So if we are moving into a new phase in the fourth industrial revolution with cognitive elite,
yes,
where will we find ourselves? You know what I mean? I am concerned about the term cognitive elite. And I would like the people outside there to understand, what that really means for us all.
Oh, totally. First of all, I want to backtrack a little bit. A couple of years ago in New York City, we had this massive people movement called Occupy Wall Street. During Occupy Wall Street, we had this saying that says, "We are the 99%." And we used to chant that until the police would beat us down to a pulp. And the reason for that is because what happened is, even in America right now, last year, these are real statistical values here. Out of $64 trillion that came into the market, 3/4 of that money went to less than 1% of the rich and super people who you can't even see because they're hiding behind some phantom wall somewhere. No one can seem to point a finger at them. The question becomes, these folks who are the investors and all of these high-level harbor sharks who control the world, they understand the game. They understand how that world works. These are the folks that I'm calling the cognitive elite. The reason they are cognitive elite because they understand the power of the mind structure. Look what happened with Facebook and this whole election. What it was a way for the system to understand human psychology in such a way where even on Facebook, where you click on a little like, I can nudge your mind. I can kind of force you to behave a certain way without you even realize what's happening to you. And how do these things come about? These are people who have high level skills, who understand the mind states of how people work, and they use these tools to control the masses. So where we are moving right now in the fourth paradigm, as you put it, we're moving into this decentralized system where these folks understand and they know what it's going to require to capture that market, right? We're moving in what we're calling right now a creator economy, meaning we are at a point right now where the system cannot hold you down anymore because the technology will finally free you. But in order for that to happen, you have to be knowledgeable. And if you don't have that knowledge, you're going to find yourself eating chicken feet for dinner. And this time around, there's no coming back. But the majority of that wealth is going to be swallowed up again by those who have the knowledge. They are the cognitive elite. They have the information. They keep it among themselves. And then the 99% just always stay in the dark. But it doesn't have to be like that. And this is what one thing we're going to discuss is what is this blockchain? What do we mean by blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFT, decentralized finance, and all this AI, machine learning, deep learning, and all of that stuff? This stuff is not complicated. I have fifth graders, man, little children building this AI. They can program and code them from scratch. Any kid in Jamaica, you could give them a kit like that. In 3 weeks, this kid's going to be able to do it. But what's the problem? Our people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge. That's all it is. Lack of access to resources. Things are held somewhere and you can have no access to it. So our people are in darkness. But this must stop. There has to be a change where we free the world.
Yes.
You know, and there's a way forward, brothers.
All right. You know, is me, you, and Brother Ruel. And Brother Ruel here is somebody we talk, sometimes even get fiery when it comes to the technology. Some agreement, some disagreement, some understanding and misunderstanding. But when we reason, we have constructive dialogue, you know, to take us to a point where we get clarity. So I'm going to ask Brother Ruel now, as a farmer, you know, and an engineer, how you see this new technological age. We had a discussion with you, and we all agree that even us that is here, we are really a machine, you know. This is one of the most sophisticated machine, the human body. If we really have an understanding of how it functions and how it operates, you know, and I believe we don't even explore it as much as we should. But I want you now, Brother Ruel, to explain, you know, as a farmer, how this new technological age is going to impact the generation that is coming who don't really understand it, especially people in the field that you are in.
Yes, we give thanks again, give thanks to the brother up there in New York, brother. Good to see you, and you know, great opening and a great enlightenment to the ones out there, you know. And we just want a pleasant, good full noon to all of the world and to all of the people them out there. You know, big up to the Hanover people there. So before I proceed, I'm just gonna go back, Brother Aymara, because you know where I go, I don't leave the heroes them. You know, they have to be with us.
Yes.
You know, and the great Marcus Garvey is here with us today. You know, just where we should start, the great Marcus Garvey, and I'm just gonna give a uttering from what Marcus Garvey say, you know. And he's coming today from the philosophies and the opinions of Marcus Garvey. And we are on page 63, and it goes like this: shall the Negro be exterminated?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just in line with what we are about to go into today. It said the Negro now stands at the crossroads of human destiny. He is at the place where he must either step forward or backward. If he goes backward, he dies. If he goes forward, it will be with the hope of a great life. Those of us who have developed our minds scientifically are compelled by duty to step out amongst the millions of the unthinking masses and convince them of the seriousness of the age in which we live. So Marcus Garvey is actually living now. During his time, these exact spot where we are right now is where his spirit was. So in terms of the technology and where we are right now, in terms of where I'm involved, and I'll go first with technology in terms of the part of the technology that is now at the forefront, which is information technology, because we're actually in the information age right now. And my background is in electronics, you know, and my background in electronics is not, that's something I learned. It's something that I born with. So it's a passion. And the reason why I excel in this era is because it's a passion. It's what I love. So I just, from a younger age, do what I love to do. And I must say this, just getting out of school, I have no running water or power in my house. That's how we grew up. And just getting out of school, I was able to build the first radio broadcast transmitter in my community. You know, back then it was Walkman and cassette. And I was able to feed that audio from the Walkman into a 100 megahertz crystal oscillator. And I could be able to transmit music all around my community. So that's where I'm coming from. And during that time is just the age where we're coming out of vacuum tube. So I know where we're coming from in terms of the technology. And during that time, during my studies, there was no internet. So everything we have to read out a book. And we have to write universities and other people from all over the world to send us books. And that's where we started. We start by reading this thing and getting our hands on the bench and on the components and inside of the equipment. So that's where we start, where we wreck them before we fix them, and then we start build them. So our thing is coming from where we actually build devices with our own self-knowledge. Now, from starting from that time where there was no internet, there was a big talk of what back then there were. When we going through our journals, especially when we get like magazines and stuff, or we might go to the bookstore and buy an electronic magazine, you hear this talk about the information superhighway. That was some of the first, description of what we are now. It was the information superhighway, right. And there was this big excitement during those time, and also a lot of people were getting scared of what this thing will bring, you know, but. Yeah. Where it reached right now is really mind-boggling to some, which us that were studying this thing from long time, knowing that, listen, no, we are now even just at the beginning of where this thing is going to take us, you know, because as Doc will later on, we're going now in the nano age. The electronics is going at the nano stage, and that will more highlight what nano is, you know.
Oh, totally.
I have some more to add, but what we'll do, we'll shake it off, and then we'll pick it up some more, you know, is as to where exactly we're right now in terms of the technology, the positives and the negative in terms of the electronics, the information technology, and also in agriculture, which I'm a farmer, and where the technology is now in terms of its negative and its positive in those two areas.
Yes, you see, both the other item explains something pertaining to inborn, you know, knowledge of this thing, that it was just your passion. I was watching I've been paying attention to him for a while, is this developer, this inventor. Him says God give him all him gift and him talent. I believe Dr. Winard Ronellus must heard of this young man. His name is Maxwell Chikumbutso in Zimbabwe.
Yes, Zimbabwe,
Who
yes.
develop helicopter, developed some things with radioactive frequency, you know what I mean, and functioning effectively. Last thing I heard about him that they were trying to execute him via poison. So, it is sad that these things are happening. And what he's saying that what he's bringing forward to the world now, I'm using the word forward, is what Tesla did back then when Tesla used radioactive frequency and show that radioactive frequency can just light up the entire world. You don't really need no special person to operate it. And that is why him never really function, because he never want to sell it neither, because him say it is all out there for everybody. Now, I'm getting forward to that now, who run the Alchemist Club. And the Alchemist Club is a club, according to him, who's educating young people from, as early as 3 years old. That's so that.
Yeah, brother, we gotta go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Problem is, you see, the problem we have, brother, this is what killed Africa, killed the Caribbean, and everywhere else, our people. You see, we wait too late. There are two mistakes we make in education. In Jamaica and Haiti and Africa, the idea of a kid coming to school, memorize a book of nonsense, and repeat that like a parrot, that must die. That's not how the world works. We live in a world where a learner has to be able to think on the fly. If I pose a problem here to a kid, can you quickly use your cognitive ability, your reasoning skill, your higher order critical thinking skills to find a solution to the problem? Brother Ruth speaking here is the same thing. It's the same thing. We hands-on man, like, or woman, or whatever we are, right? I'm a tinkerer like him, but since I was a kid, I'm like that. Every child that's born in this world is a natural tinkerer. Play around with things. What happened? We killed them at an early age. We just killed them. School is designed to just turn you into an android. So me, I was teaching high school, Regent chemistry and all this crazy stuff. Man, let me tell you, New York City is insane. These kids, when I tell you these kids are just plug out, these kids are just gone, man, gone. Nobody cares to learn. It's just every now and then you meet a few that might make it through the mess. But the majority of them, look, sometimes I feel as if I'm in a war zone where I have to already accept that 99.9% of the soldiers will die. And the 0.1% that's left, I have to be satisfied with that. And that's how it is. It's a killing field. You already know what it is. And and I've seen it happen so many times where, as a frontline general, sometimes my heart bleeds, but I know what it is. And it doesn't have to be like that. So that's why I left the high school level alone. I said, let me go down to middle school in here. I went down to kids about 12, 14, 15 years old. It was worse. Those kids are totally plugged out. So I said, I see what the problem is. I'm building my house on sand here. I need to go down, brother, to the foundation to find the root cause of the problem. And that's exactly what I did. When I went to start teaching kids who were 3, 4 years old, you should see these puzzles those kids could solve. Their mind is just a blank slate. And this is not a US thing or whatever. It's just a children's mind, especially these days, the kids who are born now, they're just naturally gifted. By the time they get passed through the mess, the veil has been brought down on them and shut down their whole psychology. Those of us who we know what it is. So that's why, to answer your question, I started the Alchemist Club Studio very, very young. And as of now, I am an alchemist. We'll talk about that, what that means, what that entails, and all of that. But every child in the club, they know who they are, and they live to their full potential to develop themselves. Right now, what I'm trying to do, I'm working with the chancellor. We have a brother that's running the show here in New York, and he know what time it is. Oh, he know what time it is. David Banks. He is the first brother to build a school just for boys called Eagle Academy, because we're in the crisis, man. He know what time it is. So try to save the boys, because over here in this United States, young black boys are a rare species, man. If 1/5 of them survive by 18 years old, it's a miracle. It's insane what's going on over here in the side of the ocean. So my small part, I see where the problems are, and I see the root cause of how we can close this pipeline from the cradle to the grave, or the cradle pipeline straight to jail. And somebody got to come and shut down this pipe, man. And come what may, man, I'm going to do it.
Well, we are here to support, and that's why we have you on this forum today, because what this forum is called the Community Buzz, and we are about, expanding and growing our communities to see how we can impact the minds of our people in a positive way, that we can become self-sufficient,
Yes.
become leaders. Because I was looking at something recently where Rockefeller made a statement that he doesn't want a generation of thinkers, but rather doesn't want a nation of thinkers, but nation of workers.
Yep.
Now, I don't understand if a whole heap of people, I don't really know if a whole heap of people look deep into that, and to get clarity of what he's really talking about. And when you observe how the education system operates, you realize that it is really creating people to become just regurgitators of what they put out there, rather than to think out loud and to find a way to create things for themselves. So when I see and come across, people like you and Brother Royal and other great young men and women, because it is not a patriarchal thing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of women who are great thinkers and want to make a change in the world, but we see the whole oppression and suppression of their energy and their power. And we have to find a way out to do something. Brother Royal just quote from Marcus Garvey. And Marcus Garvey have been trumpeting this for years now. And I believe that is one of the challenge that the people never really want to face up to, because of where they were coming from during the process of chattel slavery. And to hear a man talking about scientific advancement, many maybe did a mock him, and I wonder what him I said at that time. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, from some black, enough of them name not even mentioned now. I came across a black inventor recently. They call Benjamin Banneker,
Yes.
and we are looking at these great people and say, how them write out them people out of history? You know what I mean? Why? How we not hear about these people? In the great work of Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
That's
And
right.
to see what you are doing, dear brother. What kind of support are you getting on the ground? That is what I want to find out. What kind of support are you getting on the ground to get work going?
Oh, man. So I'm glad you asked that question. Well, New York City Board of Education, this is the largest school system in the United States. We're talking about an entity that get about close to $40 to $60 billion a year to educate Black, brown, because most of the people here who are slaving here are Black and brown people. and that money is like taking it and just throw it in the furnace to get burned. What happened is every now and then you'll meet a person, like not just me, I'm just a vessel, like we all are here. You'll meet a person that rise through the fire and they just come to a great understanding of what has to be done at whatever the cost is. And they try their best to deal with the bureaucracy. And like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, not afraid to go through it, and you become a problem, because I built this lab here from scratch. This is my lab. Those of you guys who are looking at the space, I built this lab from scratch for over 24 years. Sometimes to even get these little systems here, like something like a Raspberry Pi, this little thing the kids can program. The amount of red tape I have to go through, the amount of paperwork I have to fill out to get to get one computer, it's insane. So you get blocked at everywhere you turn. When you finally get it, you'll be lucky if you can connect in a way to the internet. Because, like, for example, a lot of the stuff we're running here for the kids to learn to code and program, we do this thing called secure shell hacking, where they have to literally, the kids have to literally hack inside the system. Like, you know how you connect with your Bluetooth? They do the same thing. But we get this thing called the IP address. Once you get the IP, these are 4th and 5th graders, talk about kids who are 10, 11 years old. They get into the system, they're able to go and code and program. But all of those things are blocked. Board of Ed block everything. Everything is under lock and key. So I have to call central office to tell them what is going on. It's like saying, what the hell is going on? This is a school, right? Isn't this education? We want to prepare these kids for this digital economy, for the new world that's coming. We know that in the next 10, 30, 40 years from now, the job these kids are gonna have doesn't even exist yet. So how am I to prepare these kids if I'm not able to give them access to the technology they need to move forward? So, brother, I hope you see my struggle. So I am constantly in a war zone fighting for these children. And I always find a way to win with my argument. Thank God I have a doctorate degree behind me. And I do get support. I want to be honest. Google, you know, I wrote them a proposal and I challenged them to something, because when these things came out, they said there's no way you can get a kid who's below 15 years old to build this thing and program them. I said, well, obviously you haven't met my kids. I said, I'll take the challenge. They said, all right, let's see if you can do it. They gave me 1,000 kids. And I came here to the lab. I told the kids, I said, look, I'm going to give you guys these kids. I want you guys to go home, follow the tutorial, and maybe take a week or two to build them. Brother, they went home. The next day, the kids came back with the kids built. They said, oh, this is nice. It's easy. My man, these kids, there's 60 steps to follow. You give this to any adult, you'll probably throw it on the side. Brother like Rue and I probably will do it. But the kids, how are they able to do it? Well, I want to add a little bit on that. When we have these kids who are on the internet playing these high-level complex games, these kids play these complex games. They know how the technology works, okay? So the question we have to do as adults, and I'm not talking about kids in the United States. I want to articulate this. Jamaica, all of Africa, everywhere. These are children everywhere. Those kids know. The question becomes for us, how do I get this into the hands of the kids in Jamaica? Brother Rue, I want to also bring something you said. I think I don't want to miss this opportunity. You see right now, if a person want to learn technology, you better go into farming. I'll say it again. If a person want to learn technology, you better go into farming. If money is your thing, you want to be super rich, go into farming. Because everything, all the sensor system, farming is no longer you just grab your hole, you dig a hole, the water flow. That's not how it works anymore. We have this tool where we can predict when rain will fall, and rain will fall. We can predict the humidity, the soil pressure, the temperature, and all of that stuff. All that stuff can be calculated and measured, and you're able to do all the math on it. So let's say a kid right now sitting at university in Jamaica, and he can't even grow a yam to feed his family, because to him farming is a low level thing for the poor or the backwoods man. This is what happened. You can't even feed yourself. You got to sustain yourself. Any man who cannot feed himself, he's doomed to fail. But we have to seize the moment here. farming, we have to reverse the narrative to have people in Jamaica, Africa, all over the world to understand. You want to learn about AI, you want to learn about machine learning, go see this brother right here. He got the sensors. That's what should happen.
Now, brother Ronellos, you just talk about the war zone, you know, and I observe that we are in that war zone, not now, but for centuries, we are in that war zone. I don't believe us as Africans, you know, wake up and understand that we are at war with every other nation, right? But the sad thing, we are fighting ourselves more than trying to come together, you know, and move forward as a force, as a nation. Recently, I had a discussion with some brothers in a meeting that we have. We have a group that we meet every Wednesday. We call ourselves the Black Star Brothers. And I was having this discussion with them, and I'm saying, how are we going to move forward, you know, us here in the diaspora and connect with our brothers and our sisters on the continent? We must have a strong representative in the diaspora, you know, a central leadership that can pull us together, you know what I mean, to help make the kind of change that we want to make. Now, listening to you, you just talk about the cognitive elite, and just listening to you, I realize that the cognitive elites are at work right now and trying to block us from moving forward. Now, with this technological age and the fourth industrial revolution that we hear echoing from another group of elite who have been in control for centuries now, how are we going to break that code that we become leader and be at the forefront? I'm going to throw this one to both you and Brother Roel, but Brother Roel is here and I want him to answer this one, you know. How are we going to break that code, you know, when we see the whole structure of what him just talk about farming, you know, and the changes that is taking place in the world. But when I talk about, you know, pertaining to reading the sign, my grandfather and my people of the Maroon community, they understand them thing a long time, you know. Them could have looked on the tree, them could have looked on the bird, them could have watched the ants, them, and know when rain are going to fall. You know that. So we know the science and the spirituality and the connectivity with the universe. We had it. Let me say had. It's still in a summer way, you know.
Yes.
In the Maroon community, especially when we could have known when even the storm will come.
Yes.
So the new age, we still say is a whole age.
Yeah, yes. So, yes, you see, brother, I'm where you just touch on, you know, and as I say, we're going to touch on the really impact and the changes what is going to come in both in both areas that I am knowledgeable in the electronics field and information technology, looking into telecommunications and wireless communications. We're gonna touch on that, but Brother Renelius touched a key thing when he said, if technologically, one of the biggest advantage we have right now is in agriculture. Sure. Because what I just mentioned, fixament and electronics, telecommunication, ICT, the internet and other things, all of those areas fall right in agriculture, you know. Right?
Yes, sir.
And if we look at every other technological development that come, we look in the maritime field, we look at aeronautics, everything come back to agriculture, right?
Yes,
and there's a link in agriculture with all of those other industries that will come. Now, as Barnelius said regarding agriculture now at this time, to bring the technology to the youths them, right? The sensors that are out there. And you know, the great thing with sensors that are out there and going to make our knowledge so strong now. You see the description where you say about the maroons, them how they can predict the weather. those knowledge are still here.
Mhm.
I can
Right.
be on my farm. I don't need sensors. I can predict the weather too. I know when the rain is coming.
See
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
Ah,
I live between two hills, right?
Yes, yes.
And I know when I hear strong wind
mhm.
for like 3 days from one side of the hill, it's no go come, no going around it. We will get rain,
Yes.
and there's never, man. It's something you have to really live with nature to know what nature is all about, because really, Mother Earth teaches us everything, you know. But there's nothing out there where Mother Earth not teach you, you know. So because we are Mother Earth and we connected
To
listen,
her.
these two foot that we have, you know, is two diodes, right? That is connected to Mother Earth. That's why most of the time you go outside and you get grounded. You take off the shoes and make sure you walk on the ground to get grounded, because Mother Earth they send us messages every day about ourselves,
Exactly.
about ourselves too, connected to her through these electronic diodes. We connect to her, right? So what I'm saying, the longer you live in nature, you're going to realize that you're going to teach you certain things about the whole environment. Because all these things them they talk about climate change, you know. Is there ever a time when the climate not change, brother?
We always a change.
Climate always a change.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's going to make some kind of changes that we're going to seem strange to us, because some of these changes this is a cycle, you know.
Yeah.
So some of the changes is Mother Earth going up millions of years. So it's another million years before you're going to see that event come, you know.
True.
And it's another 1,000 years before you're going to see that next event come.
True.
And then Mother Earth going to have some shorter event. Within a week, it going to reveal itself.
True.
So when ones now have the full overstanding our the earth, especially the ones them know that all the pillars of Mother Earth,
Yeah.
them not really overstand. Say, listen, what them they see they come as now climate change now. It's a cycle of something that has happened before.
True.
You see what I'm
True.
saying?
That's
So
right.
don't be frightened about what they are saying about these
Never,
things. We just need to
never.
be connected to Mother Earth. And now this is where we're going to use the technology, because the magic with the technology now is going to show you now scientifically in numbers what all of these things and changes in nature and around your farm is all about, and how you're going to predict it to make you're going to have what is called, because we have to do it in this age, you know, precision farming. All of
Yes.
these sensors now is gonna come and tell you and then teach us now what is called precision agriculture. And we're going to do it naturally, because what happened now, they have sensors that can tell you about all of the elements that are in the soil, right?
Yep.
All the
Soil.
nutrients that are in the soil now. There are sensors that you can place in the soil that can tell you the amount of nitrogen, right? It can tell you about the phosphorus in the soil, and the same sensor can tell you about the potassium. There are sensors also can tell you about the micronutrients that are in the soil, the copper, the chromium, right? And the selenium, and those little trace minerals that plants need. No sensors are there that can sense these things. In addition to that, you can know your soil temperature, you can know your soil pH, you can know the barometric pressure in that area, you can know the carbon dioxide on your farm.
See.
Now, there's also sensors can sense the presence of insects. There are sensors that can sense the presence of bacteria and other diseases that might affect the plants. Now, when you can use this kind of technology and a new thing what them call the Internet of Things, that we'll touch more on that. When you have all of these technologies on your farm, you can't miss, you know, because you have soil moisture sensor in your farm too. So you're going to know exactly when to water. You're going to know exactly the amount of water to use on your farm. So in this time, with this technology, and this is a part of the positive part of the technology that is here upon us right now. Now, guess what? All of what I'm talking about can be connected to your smartphone. So anywhere in the world, you can know exactly what they want on your farm, right? So you know you must be there in your yard, because if you plant them want water, you're going to send your alarm to your phone, you know, and say, listen, no, me forget my water now.
Yeah.
But guess what? You don't even have to do that, because you can set up that as soon as the moisture level reaches so a valve come on and water the thing itself, and can send you a message and say, listen, we just water your plant them still.
That's our world, brethren.
And let me drive it one point, because we didn't touch on the drone technology, what is there too. You know?
Yeah.
So that is a part of it too. So
Yeah.
so we're going to free up the AI. So what I'm saying now, the technology that is here right now, and listen, we have to do this in Jamaica. We have to bring back agriculture, and the only way we can bring back agriculture is through the technology that we have
That's
to
right.
drive it right now. Right now, the youths them can't go and work every day in them go work in them greenhouse, in them jacket and tie. Other countries are doing it. Israel is doing it. The Netherlands is doing it.
So yes,
And what we have now, we have everything to get it done here.
so you say we are move farming from tear pants and dirty shirt and
Long
dirty
time,
clothes. So we
that
can
done long time.
put on with jacket
Yes,
and
sir,
with
you
tie and say
jacket
we are-
and
we
tie
are
and
farm.
step on your farm, because when you step on, you're not going to go dirty up yourself. If you happen to go touch your side, let us draw on one coverall.
But we still want we still want to touch Mother Earth still.
You still have to touch Mother Earth. So now the ladies can put on them thing on them nails and go a farm. That is the age we are in now.
see.
You're talking about vertical farming and all them things now. Where those people that work in those industry, absolutely, them you see them they dress to go to work at daytime. You think as some corporate office them guys down, you know, they are going on their farms.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. And you see, what we're talking about, we are not talking about agriculture using synthetic fertilizer. No. We're talking about growing organic, healthy,
Yeah.
organic foods.
Yeah.
So we are at an age right now where we need to change what is going on in terms of the food that the people them they consume, even not only in Jamaica but worldwide. The age is here now for us to know step, because you see what happened now, brother Ayman. The knowledge of mankind is at its peak right now, you know, because we are in the information age. And when we are in the information, this has happened before. When we are in the information age is when the knowledge of men peaks.
Yeah.
Yes, there are time now with the level with our portals opening up, not from no outer space or from no universe. Everything is coming from inside. We're talking about the inverse now. And we're talking about the inner space, because there's really no outer space. Everything is within. So when you understand, this is the trick what I'm using us now, brother Imar. Telling us to going out of outer space, searching for what? There is no outer anywhere.
And we never
Everything
explore.
is in. So Mother Earth is,
Right.
we need to now find the inner space in Mother Earth, because that's where our ancestors are, you know. That's where the other nations are. We are not alone. But the other nations are not out there. They are in there.
Yes.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yes.
we just leave it from there and we'll continue on. And also, it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful
man.
time to
Yeah.
be here, because we have what it is now to survive. But we have to wake the people up and say, listen now, this is our time. This is our time. And knowledge and education is the only way in
All
this
right.
time.
You know what? When we come back on the other side, Dr. Renelos, we want you to explain in depth what AI is, and make way. But we are going to take up a piece of music here. Yes, truly, Imara. Bye, bye, bye. Babylon, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Wicked men, bye, bye. All our lives, suffer and cry, watching our prophet, our leaders die. Physically, chain release. Yes, still I man can't sleep in peace. Got to trot out of the west. Ethiopian come if we look to the east. Bye, bye, bye. Babylon, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. The wicked men, bye, bye. Wow, again. Bye, Babylon, bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. The wicked men, bye, bye. Children of Jah, leading to you. This is what Jah want you to do. Organize, centralize. That's the only way. No worry, think otherwise. As the prophet Marcus Garvey said, one aim, one God, and one destiny. Bye, bye, bye.
Yes, yes, yes. That's yours truly, Imara, saying bye, bye, bye. Babylon, bye, bye. We are step out of Babylon and we are step on the higher heights. And that's why we have that kind of in-depth discourse right here, so, on the community buzz. And as we say, people, you're out there, you want to participate, right? You're in a lecture right now. I hope you have your pen and your paper. I hope you have your phone or something taking notes of what we are expressing here. And the numbers are 876-478-9144, 876-513-8668, 876-516-6668, right? We have Dr. Ranellos over there in New York City, and he is the architect of the Alchemist Club. First of all, why you tell the people who is really an alchemist, and after why you end the whole thing of artificial intelligence, the same thing with them people call AI.
Sure. All right. I'll start with the Alchemist first, you know? Wow. And now, for me, I came to this great realization that I am an alchemist a long time ago. Because an alchemist, according to the metaphorical way of looking at it, is one who can transmute any base metals to gold, right? So I can take lead, iron, whatever. I can convert it, change it to gold. And back in the days, people used to say alchemy is impossible to do. That's a thing that's not possible to do. Scientifically, that's exactly what happened in nuclear chemistry. The sun itself is doing alchemy every day. You have hydrogen atoms that are fusing to give you helium, and helium combined to give you the other elements. So you end up in a universe where we have about 10 to the 78 power of atoms that exist in the known universe. All that stuff came from one element, which is hydrogen. The question we could go down the rabbit hole to, well, where did the hydrogen come from? And there's a point you reach into sciences where you're dealing with all quantum mechanics and waves and all of this stuff. And you get into pure math and all that crazy stuff. But let's move forward from there. I'm sure there's a lot of brilliant students that's listening to this who might be inspired to go into physics and all this heaviness. But for me, alchemy is a spiritual thing. You know, I want to just bring something here. I'm a Rasta. I was born Rastafari, right? No one had to tell me who I am. I was born in Haiti. You know, just a consciousness, a point I reach where it's an awakening, man. Like it just snatched me up, you know, and just go do jazz work, you know. It's not a joke, man. It's not a game, you know. I'm from Haiti, man. I'm from Haiti. What happened is, see, I want to deviate and come back to this. Most people don't understand this Rasta thing. This Rasta thing is beyond Jamaica, man. What Jamaica did, Jamaica represent a miracle when Haile Selassie I landed there. God bless Jamaica to represent that gift for humanity's sake. But Rastafari is worldwide. Every man is Rasta deep in the heart. You reach the point where you know who you are. So now, as far as alchemy is concerned, all Rastafari are alchemists because you have to go to the fire. You have to go to the fire. The baptism by fire in the books of John and all of that, all the ancient books. The Rastafari transmutation one must go through to purify oneself so that you can receive the light of John. That's all it is.
True.
So we could go heavy on this, but we won't go too far. We'll get back now to this AI thing and what's happening. We live in a world, Bob said it, you know, when you're a Rasta, there's no more wow. We live in a world now where some of us, we see what's coming, we know what's coming, and we're here to warn the people. Because this artificial intelligence thing, let's get back to what happened here. I'm going to give you guys a little history where this came from. during World War II, the United States of America would have probably lost that war. The mistake Hitler made, he got rid of all the minds, the top geniuses in Germany. He was assassinating them, doing all this crazy stuff. So the best mind, like Einstein, Max Born, and all those guys, heavy guys, they run for their life and they come into this side of the water. And they brought all that knowledge from Germany with them. And as a result of that, you have these guys who came together by 1945. They decided to build a computer so that they can do calculation to calculate the neutron calculations, they call it at the time. Because if you're going to create a hydrogen bomb, you need to understand, you got to have a machine that's fast enough to do the computation, right? So from 1950 on, 1945 going to 1950, these guys were working on this machine. In 1953, the machine was born at Princeton University. It's this machine, they call it the Institute of Advanced Studies machine. It was the first computer that actually has a working memory, because before that, the ENIAC machine and all of that stuff did not have a real internal memory. And brother mentioned the vacuum tubes and all that stuff. So that's where that come from. Moving forward, you know, we're tech people, so we know the history behind it. AI was born because there's a point you reach where you realize in coding that you can literally write a code and flip it, play with it, where it generates something else. But there's a point, all that time, we didn't really know how to create a code that the code can write itself. Okay? So I'm talking about 1953 all the way up. Now, what happened in the early 80s, these guys started taking AI to another level, because there are two branches of artificial intelligence. You have symbolic logic, where, for example, I can write a code and the code will just execute what I tell it to do. It cannot think outside of itself, because it cannot regenerate itself, nor fix itself or improve itself, because it follows the rule of mathematics. And for many, many years in the 80s, we reached a point in knowledge where we were at a standstill. We call it the AI winter, because we didn't know how to move the science forward. And then came a group of really brilliant people. They said, wait a minute, we don't have to approach AI like that. Let's approach it how the brain works. We can literally create a machine that we use something called a neural network. A neuron is the cells that, you know, control your brain. They figure a way to write a mathematical function for the machine to start behaving where it can learn. That's the key right there. That's what the point I want you to always remember. That word should be written somewhere and circled.
Yes, brother. I remember during my studies, we do a lot of reading, because in the scientific magazines, you know, there used to be a lot of articles come out about this development, the neural networks. So I know exactly where it started, you know, reading back from its start in the 50s and coming up when I was just beginning my studies in electronics, you know, we read a lot about the neural networks and the development. So, and even during that time, there always mention of artificial way back when.
Yes.
So it's not really anything that is coming. It's long time this thing is coming up.
It's been here for a long time. Brethren, you're right. You know, you and I, we could follow the history of this thing, right? But you know what happened now. You see it. The question then become now. This is where we took a quantum leap forward with this ChatGPT. I want to get to where we are now. What happened is, this is the scary part, but it doesn't have to be. What happened is, we are at a point now. Let me give you a perfect example. Let's say, Brother Ree mentioned that he's at his farm and there's a bug over there that's killing one of his plants. Right now, he can just take his phone, take a picture of it, and the AI will tell him exactly what the leaf, the AI will know what the plant is, and it will know exactly based on the pattern of how the bug bite the leaf. It will tell you exactly what bug is eating your leaf. You might say, how the hell can it do that? What it's looking for is patterns. It's all math. The computer code is written in a way for it to recognize that. Now we can take that. We give an example on the ground. Take that and mapped it to everything. Let's say, for example, I have a kid here who cannot read, right? The AI can, if I give the kid a passage to read, the kid is making all those mistakes. You know what the AI will do? It will calculate the number of words the kid cannot spell, whatever, and it will design a program to fit the child where the child is at. And then as the kid is learning, it will nudge the kid and guide the kid until it's able to remove the safety wheel of the bicycle and the kids can ride on his or her own, right? So the thing is, there's nothing wrong with the technology. You can't just stick your head in the sand and praying it goes away. It's not going anywhere. What's gonna happen is if Jamaica, if Haiti, if the whole Caribbean diaspora in Africa doesn't get on board with where this thing is going, we're gonna find ourselves back to the Stone Ages, to the point where there's no coming back this time, because the zillionaires who just going to make trillions of dollars, who understand these things, they're going to seize the moment and lock us away. Now, I want to add one thing here. It doesn't have to be like that, because this new technology free us, and the zillionaires know that. That's why they're afraid right now. I don't want to.
And brother, that's why there's so much distractions out there also.
Yes, sir.
That's why there's so much distraction, because the thing is, this technology is not only for, it's not exclusive right now. It is there. It's open, man.
It's open.
It's open.
It's open.
That's what I'm saying. It's open. So the system that is present in some quarters right now is just set on distraction to stray the mind. Yes. And use fear to drive, and use fear also to drive people away from this thing that is up on us right now. But as I say, we will go further. There's the positives and the negatives. So they're on the negative, the positive part of it right now, man. It is here, and it is here to put us to a level where we need to be, because if not, the gap between the rich and the poor is gonna be so wide. There'll be no catching. You're just not going. Nations will never to reach where they will reach, and that's just that reality. The reality is that it's not. It's like people is not. They are not going to exist. Yes, there's no extermination coming, but guess what? Your nation will be under what is called a forever sufferation. It will never. This sufferation will never stop, because listen, this is it. You don't have the knowledge to survive in age where you're at, so you got to be a slave.
Just that.
You just got to be a slave. You have no choice, because listen, you don't have the knowledge to move from the level where you're at. So where you're gonna go.
So that take us to this other point. I heard Ronellos spoke about the blockchain market. We are now see where the monetary system of the world is shifting. We see BRICS. We see that the US dollar is under threat now. The petrodollar look like it out to die because of what is happening in the world economic system. Now, I am looking at us as African people. We see where BRICS includes South Africa. But when we look at South Africa and follow the history of South Africa, we know what South Africa represent, right? Now, as this new digital currency age ushering slowly on us, and it is happening. You know, we shouldn't even use the word slowly, because it is happening so fast now. You know, we
Super fast.
realize that digital currency and the blockchain market is out there, and a lot of people are capitalizing. We see where China literally take the lead in that. Now,
Mhm.
I want you to break down, because people mix up
Sure.
digital currency with crypto.
Yeah.
Can you
Mhm.
explain the difference between cryptocurrency and digital currency?
Sure, of course. For example, if you think about it, even in Jamaica right now, a lot of people are using digital currency. You might have your money in the bank, they give you a card, and if you don't have the money with you. If you want money, you put your card in, you get money. The money is there as a backup by gold, whatever, but you have the digital value of that money is. You could look on your account and you see where the money is. So it's the digital currency is just a step forward to just have a way to connect with your fiat that's already in your bank or wherever you have it, right? So it kind of provide a leverage where you can transact and do things you normally would, but it gives you a little bit more wiggle room to trade and do all of those funny things, right? All these good things, whatever, right? That's the digital cash, digital currency. Cryptocurrency is another whole thing, something totally new. This is where, because the way cryptocurrency works is like this, right? Like right now, brother, you an artist, you got your work of art, you're producing this whole work here. Let's say you want to sell it, a piece of art you have. A lot of brothers in Jamaica, sisters are very talented. You write a book, you go put it on Amazon. Amazon now, they'll say, all right, well, we're gonna take 40% of the sales, you get 60%. If somebody take more than 40, take 60, 40, whatever the value is, right? What Amazon represent is the middleman. What blockchain and cryptocurrency has done, you can get rid of the middleman. You don't need them anymore, because you can deal directly with the customer. Because if for example, if you're selling something right now and you put it on the NFT marketplace, there's another marketplace that exists. You create your own, and let me give you an example of what I mean, so I don't get lost in the sauce here. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You're an artist in Jamaica, right? You're a carver, you work with wood. You make a beautiful structure, right? Normally you go through all these chains to sell it. Now, let's say you say, you know what? I'm tired of just the middlemen taking half of my money. I want to sell directly to the people on the blockchain. What you do, we have, for example, this space called OpenSea. You yourself, with a little bit of knowledge, doesn't take much. You can hire someone as an artist to draw, make a painting of the art, or you can yourself take a picture of the art and you upload it to OpenSea. Now, that art, when you upload it to OpenSea, the art now, there's a digital, the picture you upload is a digital artifact. It has a key, a cryptographic key that's associated with it. Because once you put it on OpenSea, OpenSea automatically give it a stamp. But remember, the real physical art you have in Jamaica with you. Now somebody they buy the art, the piece, the digital art, the picture, and you make a deal with them. You say, okay, you buy the art for $60. You get the money in your wallet. Your job now is to ship the art to them, right? Now, someone might come and say, for example, let's say that somebody else go make a copy of the picture the person has, the little image they have a copy of it. That person you sold it to can prove it belongs to them because they have the cryptographic key. You see? Because they have the key. That's what matters. So now what you end up with, I'm just giving you one example. There's a direct way now where artists all over the world, creators, whatever you want to sell, buying, trading, can be done where you get rid of Amazon, you get rid of all the Goliath, you directly connected to the people. That's what the blockchain has been able to do. It provides a way now for people to interact, trade with one another. I don't care what you're selling. I can create an NFT for you so that you no longer don't need no middlemen to deal with. You see? And now, just imagine the power of that. What if you take that? Oh, there's another reason why governments hate this blockchain.
Explain to us what NFT mean. Other
sure.
people out there. Yeah.
Okay, sure. It's just a big funny word that means nothing. You know, like for example, I can take this here, this thing, the art the children make. I can turn it into NFT. What does it mean? NFT means non-fungible token.
Okay.
Okay, non-fungible token. It means this here, only one person can have it. Like for example, someone can go to Paris. They take a picture of the Mona Lisa, right? They go with their camera. They take a picture of the Mona Lisa, and they go home. They frame it. They frame it. They say, "Oh, I got the Mona Lisa." You would laugh at them, right? You would laugh and say, "You don't have the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is in Paris, in the Louvre Museum. You have a picture of it, but you don't have the Mona Lisa." It's the same thing, because there's only one that is original, because it has the cryptographic key that's associated with it. So that's NFT means something unique, only one person can have. You see? So, but the question becomes, well, how do you create this thing? It's nothing. You just, I can take this and upload it on the blockchain and it become an NFT. Let's say you buy this from me. I can send it to you in Jamaica. It's yours. But let's say Brother Rube then decide, oh man, I'm going to take a picture of it. It's mine. Is it really his? No, he has a picture of it. It's not his. You could prove it's yours because you have the cryptographic key to prove it. That's the power of this thing. But I want to share one thing with you as to why, even in Africa right now, Nigeria and other countries, these guys, the governments, they want to run away from the blockchain. Why? Because, brother, once you put something on the blockchain, anybody could see the transaction. Anyone in the world can go and they'll know this belongs to you. So guess what happened? Like in Jamaica or the Caribbean, all over, wicked, crooked business. There's no more cheating. The people no more. Because if you take the government, you put them on the blockchain, every dollar that's spent, anyone in Jamaica can just log in and see where the money goes.
Oh. Let me ask this question. How somebody is how can a youth in Jamaica participate in the Alchemist Club? Is there anything online that would work?
Of course, brother. I'll send you the link. Brother Ru has it right now.
Yeah.
There are two ways forward. It's because I can't share my screen with you. What I have, Brother Ru's already in our server. I have two things that's gonna flip the world. We have a Discord server. Let me give you an example, brother, how the power behind this thing. You see those questions you're asking me right now? In the Discord server, we have a channel that deals just with NFT. So let's say a person has no knowledge at all. You spend 3 weeks in there, you'll come out an expert because we have so much knowledge in there. NFT, well, everything is there. It's a school that I'm building in the server. I'm literally building a school so that anyone in the world that want to learn about all these things we're talking about, it's up to them. It's depending on how much knowledge they're ready to absorb and take in. I have people all over Africa that's already there. They just pouring in. So I'm gonna send you a link. Let Jamaica have it, man. Let the world have it. There's no limit to how many people can join. So it's literally a metaverse school where anyone that want to learn where we are heading in this day and age, there's no need to be afraid. Fear comes when you lack knowledge. And if we don't educate ourselves, and get the children early, that's the key. We got to get the kids in. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. That's why I work for posterity. I work with the young kids, very, very young, because what I can do is help them to change their mind state very early. Raise a child in the way he should go, he shall not depart. We know that this is what it is, but how do you actually do it? And this system, this new technology can help us free our people. There's a way forward.
Okay. Yes, and let me just add to what Brother Ronalius just mentioned regarding the Discord server. It's a great platform to be on to start, getting the knowledge of what we are discussing here, and even more, way more information is there. And not only that, the network on the Discord is a big network. So you persons being a part of that platform, can share knowledge. We are also on the local scene. We just register a company locally that is going to be heading in that direction. We will be involved heavily in training, training the new technicians for the new age. So and we'll be here in Western Jamaica. We'll be launching out soon, covering everything from electronics to Internet of Things training, and all kind of technical training will be available. And we'll be partnering with Brother Renalius and other partners from in the Caribbean also. We'll be bringing some of these training in Western Jamaica, coming out of Montego Bay to be specific. So we are doing some work on the ground to make some of these training, what we are talking about, be available. You can listen out to Fit FM. Be online. You will be seeing our presence soon. We have some of our presence there already. But as I say, we'll be heavily involved in training technicians for the new age, with our technicians for agriculture, for safety and security, and in all different areas. We're looking in the maritime industry also, where there's a huge potential for where we need technical people with the knowledge, to carry out these works and to take on the new things that are coming upon us right now. Because really, the schools that we have here is falling behind. They are falling behind. Some of them not way behind. There are schools here that is up on it, but the majority of the schools we have here right now, especially the public schools in Jamaica, they are far behind in terms of where we should be, in terms of what is up on us now. So it is for us, as we say, as Marcus said, those of us who are scientifically minded is to take on this by duty, to make sure that the message go out there, collaborate and get on board with persons locally also who want to join us. Because as we say here, what is up on us now is not something that is going to go away. This is not what they call a 9-day wonder. It is the age for it now. As I tell you, we are the ones studying this thing from in the earlier times when there was the vacuum tube and the age of the transistor was just starting. So we are studying this thing from before the internet. We know we know that this is where it's going to be. Even with looking at the mobile phones and where the phones now, we used to read about first type chipsets start coming out to start building these devices. We are coming from the time when there was analog radio and Morse code. Right. See what I'm saying? So we actually know Morse code. We learn Morse code. I'm also an amateur radio operator here locally in Jamaica. So we learn the fullness of the thing. Yeah? And it's the same time we are coming now from Morse code. There was the age when you have shortwave radio that used to run commercial operation in the world. There was no telephones back then, right? So it was back there was radio telephony. Morse code that started this thing where communications used to take place on a wide basis. Big corporations like British Telecom, which is big now in technology, they start from Morse code days. Yeah, that's where they're coming from, and that's where we are right now, where most of these big AT&T, these used to be the history of these places is what we read during our time coming up. Brother Reneros might know. that they start from the earlier
That's
age
right.
when they was
Very
vacuum
early.
tube
That's
and,
right.
and where they are right now. So technology from those times coming up, and we know so this is the age, is this we know it is going to happen now. So
Alright, so
let
this-
us get on board and do. Yeah.
So this is the question. You to go further with that.
Mm.
You talk about these companies flourishing now or, and rule the whole technological landscape, right? Now,
Yeah.
may I look on some little equipment in front of where so. And I'm listening to Brother Ronellos, and I'm showing us the gadgets that 3 years old and upward building, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Wanting to build all a radio station and to function and to get away from some of the regulatory bureaucracy. You know what I mean? That you have to go through all of these things, and we want to in control. So all of us realize who are creators have been exploited for years, especially us as black
That's right.
people. We create so many things and we are not in control of what we create.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
how can we beyond that now? Because the brilliance of all of us have been exploited for years by some people who don't even understand, you know, the depth of what we have within us. And some of us, you know, just fall and fell by the wayside and not moving forward. How can we break that thing that we are not just what would I call it, service provider?
That's
you know,
right.
and people who have capital continue to exploit us while we are the source of all of the capitals out there in the world.
That's right.
Or we can
I
break
yeah.
that.
Let me add a line to that. For example, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say right now in Jamaica, you give me a group of, let's say 10 to, just as a test, give me a group of 10 to 15 kids who are in high school, right? Let's say those kids, they have an aptitude for the tech, like the whole idea of programming and all of that stuff. They don't even have to honestly be interested in tech per se. They might be business-minded, entrepreneur-minded kids who are keeping up with time, and they might be on LinkedIn, they might be on social media. If I take this group of kids right now to the Alchemist Club Studio Discord server, and I tell them, welcome to the Knowledge Oasis. You want to learn how to be a real businessman? Here are the resources, the content for you to drink as much knowledge as you can. You want to learn and get certified in cybersecurity? Here's a learning track that's already there for you. By the time you go to the training, you take the test and you'll be Microsoft certified with all your micro credentials. Brother, we are reaching a point. This is where I'm going to articulate this point. When we say we are heading into the creator economy, we are reaching a point right now. COVID is what led to this breakthrough. We are now at a point where it doesn't matter where a person is in the world. If you have access to a computer and you have the skill set this industry, these big companies are looking for, you will become extremely marketable. I don't care if a kid is sitting in Jamaica or if that kid is in Africa, in Kenya, Senegal, wherever, on the baobab tree. If that kid has access to the internet, let's say that kid decide, you know what? I'm going to learn how to write a smart contract. I'm going to learn how to code in Solidity. I'm going to learn how to create NFTs. You can find this kid by the time this kid graduates high school, this kid's a millionaire. It's not a question just about the money. What I'm saying here is the technology has opened up a door now where if we don't seize the moment to educate ourselves and really capture this thing before everybody else realizes what's going on and we get locked out again. Thank God this time we are early in this. Things can happen. And I believe, for example, in Jamaica, if if we start something small, it doesn't have to be big. Just test a pilot idea for people to see, oh my God, this is really possible. These kids can go through certain training and be marketable. And the government will listen. They'll have to listen. Or else it's either you get on board or get thrown overboard. There's no going back.
That's it. That's it. That's it, brother. That's it. It's no going around, and they will understand. I mean, if they can't understand and see what's happening, I don't know what they would be waiting for, or who they would be waiting for to tell them. You know, and as we can say in Jamaica here, COVID has taught us a great lesson, even locally here. It shows us where we really are, and when it reveals where we really are, and what we need to do to reach to a level where some of these information and these valuable training that school grade children should be getting here in Jamaica shows us that it is now time for action. It is no more the time when we have this type of classroom setting. That the type of classroom setting we have right now need to change. That need to change right now. And the implementation of the information, the transmission of the information around Jamaica needs to be improved. You know, it needs to be improved. It is not something that is beyond us. It can be done. And now we're talking about decentralized network. Not everything has to be a big thing. Communities must now come together and build their own local network to share this type of information. You don't need the internet. You can have what is called the intranet. So every community now can have free access to let's say it like this.
Break down that term, the intranet.
The intranet.
Before I go any further, let me say this. This is going to revolutionize communities if we educate ourselves and begin to participate. This is a message from a listener, Bev Moonchild.
Yes.
So explain to us now the intranet.
Okay. Let's look at it this way. And we learn this in networking. You have what is called a wide area network, right?
Yeah.
Now the wide area network is more referred to like the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Where the internet meaning that there's a multitude of network connecting and sharing information.
Yeah.
Now, on the internet, there's a branch that is called the local area network. So although you have, like, you get your connection now to the internet in your house and you put a router in your house, your computer now don't sit on the internet, you know. Your computer sit on your local area network from your router. Okay. Now, that local area network now, from your, if you can put together the right pieces of hardware, your local area network can cover your whole community.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Get you.
Now, when your local area network cover the entire community, you know, the community now can have what is called a gateway to the internet. Now, the gateway to the community, for the community to the World Wide Web or the internet, so to speak, is through your router.
Yes.
Or your router is the gateway.
Yes.
Now, you can plug out that internet cable, right? And you now still have your local area with all devices connected. Now, guess what you can do? You can now sit a server, an internal server now, with a digital library on your local area network. Mm-hmm. Now, all clients that is connected to your local area network can access all of your information from your server, because what you have is a web server. Mm-hmm. So a web server doesn't have to be on the internet, you know. Mm-hmm. The web server can be on your intranet. So if a person so you can now download an entire website. All right, let's pick a website, say the Jamaica Gleaner, right? You can download the entire Jamaica Gleaner website, so to speak, right? Just an example, and place it on your server. So when a person on your local internet network now, they can just bring up a browser, right? Like Google, type in Gleaner, and they see everything like they would be on the internet.
Great.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on that now, you can like information for the community, free information. So what you can do now is take the information that is in the library now and place it in community digital libraries. So persons, the kids now can access videos, they can access magazines, books, all the books that are in the library. Persons within the community can share all that information now.
So-
no one have to have an internet and buy any credit or anything.
So that is similar to the Discord server.
The Discord server now can sit on it. A Discord server, anything that you want to sit there can sit there. Because you have this build a Discord server and place it on your local area network. So persons who might be challenged to pay the credit to access information, that shouldn't be the case in Jamaica. We must now start up decentralized local area networks. This can be wired or wireless.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? So the information now, because one of the projects I'm working on also is a digital library project where it can be portable to. It can be a device where you can carry in your pocket, you can carry it in your location where a group, or you can access the information. You know, where you can put all the digital books, you can put videos, all type of learning information, where we now need to get some things in the community where we can share more. Now is the time when staring on the screens and scrolling on Instagram and Facebook, not that it is good, there's a lot of knowledge there, but right now we need to get more organized and we need to start do a lot of reading and understanding the appropriate material to function in this age, because this is what is going to happen. As I say, the gap between the rich and the poor is getting wider and wider, because as Brother Renaldo said, the ones with the knowledge is going to be zillionaires, though the ones without the knowledge is going to always be on the bottom and gonna have no other choice than to be a slave.
So it is up to us. It is up to us to guide our children. It is up to us to continue with what we call lifelong learning, knowing that we will not sit by and say, boy, the day of schooling done. We continue to upgrade ourselves.
Yes.
We continue to be our best self. Brother Renelos, when I listen to this program is off the chain. I'm telling you, I give thanks that you took the opportunity to be here with us and explaining to us the deepness, the depth of what we have to learn and how we really in a position right now to really fundamentally liberate ourselves. Because just listening right now, even to what Brother Ruel in a while ago,
Yes.
I can see where the liberation of our people can take place just through this whole industrial revolution. We never go call it the fourth, and we never go call it, but we want to even step above their fourth industrial revolution. We maybe want to go for seven.
That's right. Call it the seventh. Call it the seventh paradigm, if you want.
Yes.
The seventh paradigm, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man, we take it up a notch. What Brother Rule says is no joke, man. I just want to add something here. Let me give you an example. Let's say you take one of the most remote small community in Jamaica, where, for example, the kids have never seen the light of day of technology, right? And you take over there. You can literally go there. What the brother's saying here, you can literally go there and set up a little hub for them. Okay, now watch this.
Yeah.
Where you can take the whole curriculum of Jamaica, that's in Kingston, the curriculum, but these people have never seen the light of day of technology. You can give them the exact same education that the kids in Kingston, whatever, blah, 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 is doing, or even the rich kids are doing in Kingston. You can give it to the most remote island somewhere in Jamaica that has never even touched a cell phone. Why is that possible? Because we can set up that node he's talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a node we can set up. It's an isolated node in a way. We can plug it to the gateway of the internet, but it's there. And guess what? We can set up these little pockets of nodes, like fire. Huh? You set up this little fire area, and what you upload on that server, you can. It's knowledge is dangerous, brother. You know, this is not a game.
Yes.
We didn't come here to play. We didn't come here to play. You know, there's a point you reach where, you know, Paul Bogle and these people did not play around here. They had the Bible in their hand. They understood what had to be done. What I'm trying to get at here is we are at a point, I believe, it's going to be the fight or die. When this thing hit, it's going to happen, brother. It's going to happen.
Let me quote your revolutionary father, Toussaint Louverture.
Yes.
All it takes is courage.
Yes, I.
That's right.
All it takes is courage.
Yes, I.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Serious. You know what happened yesterday here in the United States? I saw it, and nothing is new under the sun. This is just the beginning, man. Here's what happened in Chicago, right? You have a group of kids. They came down to the city, over 2,000 of them. They just went crazy, breaking windows, breaking cars, beating tourists. And where did these kids come from, brother? The south of Chicago is a killing field, man. It's more dangerous than Ukraine on the ground. This is how these black and brown kids are living over here in America, in the south side of Chicago. So what happened is, pressure bust pipe. You reach a point where they had enough.
Yeah. They
themselves, sometimes they're pockets of frustration that can make a person do something bizarre. Why would all these kids get together, go downtown to the city in Chicago and just go crazy? They don't care if they got caught, whatever, come what may. They just went bananas because what they're trying to articulate is a frustration and their pain. But people look at, oh, we don't know why they did that. No, I know exactly what's going on. And what's going to happen when these kids really cannot eat? What's going to happen when these AI and these autonomous systems got all this thing under lock and key? And the people who own those IPs and who own the investors and the venture capitalists, who those companies are under, milking the system and milking the zillions of dollars. And then you don't even need too many people to manage the systems no more. The pantry line will go around the corner. And then it's gonna be like the Hunger Game. We're living a dangerous time here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I.
Yes.
Yes, I. Because what you say now, the zillionaires will just sit on top and smile at it, man.
Yeah.
The zillionaires just gonna sit on. They're the ones who's gonna be full joy in the paradise.
That's
while,
right.
While the slaves, you know, listen, man. These are things that we read about in history books. It's not new. See what I'm saying? Where the king and his zillionaires will just sit on top and just do what they have to do, and the slaves there, you know, who survive there survive. That's it. But it don't have to be that way. And one thing I have to say, the youths that are out there, the youths are no fool. They know what they want.
No fool. No, they do.
The youths know what they want, and you learn that the system is there to provide for them what they need to get. You see what I'm saying? So it is only going to get worse if we don't act. If we don't act, it's only gonna get worse. It's not gonna be getting any better for us. And as I say, the way out of this is for us to educate ourselves about this new age. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you are doing. It will affect you in some way. It will affect you. If anyone out here intend to be living in a community or to be out there surveying with a nation or anything, and you think this is not gonna affect you, think again. It will affect you unless you can just get off grid totally.
Yes.
totally off grid.
Yeah, upgrade.
There's not a
Yeah,
lot
you-
of us prepared to do that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not
That's
a lot
it.
of us prepared to really get off grid, even when we know we can. But we are not prepared to do that because we just gonna follow the way of what our heroes do, you know.
And some of us have to stay in place like this. you
Yes,
know,
and some of us
because-
have to be here.
Because
Yes.
Fit FM can't come off a grid.
No,
No.
we can't. No, we
And,
can't
and,
come
and,
off a
and
grid.
we, and we need space like this that these information can go out.
Yes, sir.
So we have to be at the forefront of the battle, and I believe that's what we are doing now, standing at the forefront
that's
of the
we are.
battle.
Yes, sir.
As much as people might look at it as we just there so attack, but if them can tune in and understand how deep this is, you know, and to prepare ourselves. When I heard my brother, when I heard what you say about these children from Chicago, I am just looking in how these people are planning to expand their prison industrial complex, because what they want to do now is to have these black and brown kids, our children, end up in those prison industrial complex for free labor. And we see where that is expanding. Even here in Jamaica, we hear government using terms of public-private partnership to expand the prisons. How do you look at it, you know, or you see it after you know, experience that, you know, in what took place in Chicago yesterday or a few days ago?
Brother, we already know what it is. That's why in the beginning, I told you the narrative of the pipeline from the cradle to the grave, or the pipeline from the cradle to the jailhouse. This is a corporation. It's a business as usual. These things are mapped out, they plan out. For example, I'm a science teacher. I've been in New York City Board of Education, like I said, for close to 25 years. Man, there are days I go home, you know, he who fights and run away live to fight another day. I'm totally exhausted and beat. And I sometimes just say, there's nothing that can be done. Why bother, you know? But you know what? That's not how it works. The way I see it, I know a lot of soldiers must fall. Our work is not for me and you. Rue, our work is not for us. We work for posterity. 100 years from now, I want to look at Jamaica, Haiti, the Caribbean, Africa with a long-term plan. That's why when Garvey wrote this thing out, he projected what he knew was coming, and so many others that understand. Because there's a certain level you reach in your knowledge, you can see what's coming. Yes. There's no one can tell you. Know there's nothing no one can tell me, because I know exactly what's coming, and I know what impact I can have. So for me, the answer to your question is the narrative of that pipeline. It has to be sealed and put away. If we don't, you see, I remember when I saw the movie Apocalypto. In that movie, it's a powerful movie. What that movie said is, in the beginning, it said every nation always get destroyed from within first.
Yes.
Before the enemy can come and get you.
Yep.
So no nation, no matter how tall and mighty they are, can think they're invisible. This United States of America, we have a crack in the ceiling that takes place here at the Capitol, which is January 6th business.
Wow.
Brother, this is not a game, man.
Yeah.
It was a crack in the ceiling. And those of us who are here, even Obama said it in a statement. People can go research it. When the other party joined in and they took over, he said, "Here goes the Republic." That's exactly what Obama said. I heard him with my voice. I know exactly what this means. The issue we have here in this country, the sin of this nation, in order for it to be healed, to be atonement for this sin, the carpet this nation walk on, the black and minorities that America walk on as a carpet, America has to realize it has to change its course of action. Otherwise, it's gonna get ugly here. I see what's coming. I'm a teacher. I see the danger, man, that's facing this nation. And that's what I try to articulate to those two ladies. You know, you're in here in this, you live in a world where you have to watch your word and all this nonsense. Me, I don't see it like that. I have to speak the truth. We are in a great danger. And everyone else will be impacted by that great danger, whether it's Jamaica, Haiti. You see what's happening with migration now. Everybody want to come to Mexico. If America don't, if America doesn't realize it needs to be good to the rest of the world, when everybody show up on their border, then they'll learn. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Because when you have massive migration, when everyone starts flooding through Mexico, what's going to happen? And when a man cannot eat bread, he will resort to violence. We are reaching a point soon where these little jobs for McDonald's, blah, 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 all these low-level jobs these people used to do. The supermarket, we got this machine that can fix the shelf. It doesn't need no break. It doesn't need anything. Everything is controlled by the machine. They'll keep a couple of people around to run the machine, but the mass of the people, what they're going to do? If they can't eat, what do you think is going to happen?
That's it. my brother, my two brothers. It is a really powerful lecture that took place here this evening. And we are thankful for this. And I know family are fit, you know, and this not gonna be a one-time thing. We need to have you back again, Dr. Ronellus. And we are going to talk further on, you know, because this is the movement that we're about, the movement of liberation, you know, liberation from mental slavery, liberation from capitalism, you know. So we want to shout out my brethren Pablo on the 21st, Friday coming. We are going to have a jam. We are going to celebrate Haile Selassie I visit to Jamaica 1966. So we're going to have some music on there, play live music and things. See?
I'll be there.
So you're the Rastafari and all of the people who understand the mission and the purpose of a program like this, the Community Buzz. And we want to say enough thanks again, Brother Roel, for driving up from Hanover for come utter peace and make the people get some wisdom.
Yes, definitely. As we say, you know, this thing, you know, the journey where we on, and you know, as you can say to the people, you know, especially as they say in the Western Jamaica region, look for some good things to what as it relates to what we discussed today, you know.
All right.
Look out for us, and we're gonna just do what we say we have to do and do what we have to do, you know. And Brother Ronellus in the NYC, all the best, but you know, keep it strong, you know, and let us get together and do what we have to do. One love.
Thank you again, Brother Ronellus. Thank you for being here, and we will talk very soon.
All right, brethren. One love. Selassie, guidance.
Love and light. Yes, I. Bless up Primal Media. We want to say, you know, we give thanks to Primal Media and all of the people over there. You understand? Nihima and Joel, you know, we give thanks. And that is it. It's another Community Buzz. Look for us next round. Another interesting program, you know what I mean? This is how we do it. Education is the key. Yes.